This has been a long time coming. I've been hearing about this for over a year. Joe Rogan opens an anti-cancel comedy club. I'm drunk and I'm on mushrooms and in my new club. What is Oh my god, is it really open? The Comedy Mothership, Austin's premier comedy club? Holy shit. We need this porny background. I don't think so. Wow, Comedy Mothership. Okay, it's got aliens on it. Joe is taking us inside his new club. Wow, they actually had a show. They had, like, a debut opening show. William Montgomery is starting the show. William Montgomery is he's a fixture at Kill Tony. A lot of these comedians moved to Austin from LA, when Rogan was moving. They were like, "We'll follow you, bro," because they had a sense that this club was coming. I don't know who BS don't tell me. Brian Simpson. I think he's also from Roast Battle. Duncan Trussell. Yeah, these are a lot of the old guard of, like, LA boys that followed Rogan out to Austin. But this looks beautiful. This looks really beautiful. This is giving me, like, the Laugh Factory. I think maybe the stage was inspired by the Laugh Factory out in LA. I like this half moon thing. That's pretty neat. Alright, Duncan Trussell. I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen Duncan perform, but I know his name really well. Oh, and Tim Dillon came out. Alright. He's a heavy hitter. Absolutely hilarious. Oh my god. I wonder if they kept this lineup, secret. Tim Dillon, definitely not trying to lose weight. That's fine. He doesn't need to. He's hilarious. He's our generation's Chris Farley, if Chris Farley believed in conspiracy theories and was, like, anti-globalist. I don't know. Would you call him anti-global? He just comments on it. Okay, so there's no real host for this show. It's just each comic is bringing up this is a very casual style of each comedian bringing up the next comedian. Oh, Hinchcliffe. Nice. So this inaugural show is like all of Joe Rogan's boys, or at least like everybody who's out in Austin now. So, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's the host of Kill Tony. Wow, I'm so happy for them. Wow, that is so cool. I'm really happy for them. It's a long time coming, but you know what? These things take a long time to set up. Cool. Hecklers will be alienated from Joe Rogan's new comedy. Oh, see, I don't mind a heckler. I'm looking at you, Matt Baker. Hecklers will be alienated from Joe Rogan's new comedy club. The comedian and podcaster opened an anti-cancel culture comedy club called Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas. Where is the Comedy Mothership? Let's see. Let's find the location. Let's see if it's reached Google Maps yet. Google Maps yet. Oh my god, is it on 6th Street? Of course, it's on 6th Street. Wow, what a great location. Okay, it's on 6th Street and Trinity Street. How far is this from the Creek and the Cave? 3 minutes. It's a 5-minute walk from the Creek and the Cave. I laugh because the owner of the Creek and the Cave, like, hates my guts because I dated someone that she dated. Literally, that's it. That's the whole reason. And I've been sort of banned from all things Creek in the Cave since about 2012. Yeah. It's been a long grudge. I just think it's funny because 'cause I'm also banned from, like, Legion of Skanks and Skank Fest, and, it's just so silly. Comedy is silly. Sometimes it's like high school. Alright, so this is a 5-minute walk from the creek. That'll be good. I'm sure that'll be good for business. The comedian podcaster opened an anti-cancel culture comedy club called Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas this month, featuring a lineup of canceled comedians such as David Lucas, Ron White, Tim Dillon, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Roseanne Barr. Are they canceled? I feel like Tim Dillon has always had work. Tony Hinchcliffe was a regular at the Comedy Store. David Lucas, I mean, okay, I guess it depends what your definition of canceled is. Canceled to me is like people are calling up your venues and literally trying to cancel or successfully canceling shows so that you cannot get on stage. But I guess if you mean by, like, not mainstream, they're canceled. I would accept that title for these guys. They're all funny. They deserve work. I'm drunk and on mushrooms in my new club. This is as high as I've ever been on stage, Rogan 55 said. I need to connect with this moment. Oh, I'm really proud of him. That's really fucking cool. Rogan said he aimed to create a safe space for comedians to share their dark humor without the fear of being canceled. What does this link go to? I'm just curious. Okay, Chris Rock. We'll talk about Chris Rock. I don't know. I think not having the fear of being canceled. I mean, I love it. It's a great shtick. It's a great like premise to open a club. Of course, Joe Rogan should have a comedy club. Absolutely. The more comedy clubs, the better. And I think a little bit of the comedy scene in LA got sucked out to Austin, so it makes sense that it would balance out by having more clubs out in Austin. But I think the fear of being canceled ultimately comes down to the individual and not feeling like you have to censor yourself and not like you yourself have to stand up against being canceled. It's not up to a club. It's not up to having certain friends. You're the one who has to be like, fuck it. I'm not holding back. But there's a need for this. This is this can be part of the zeitgeist for sure. It's not just enough for the individual to be, yeah, you know what? I'm changing my answer. I like that this club is like, fuck it. Let people say what they want. Don't try to cancel them for it. He's trying to lead the way in culture. You can't fire me from my own club, bitch, exclaimed Rogan. I mean, Rogan's not getting fired from it. He's beyond having fuck you money. He has a fuck you club, which is great. Comedy Mothership's first show on March 7th sold out in minutes with $40 tickets, now being resold for $500 online. This is amazing. I felt compelled to do it. I never wanted to own a comedy club, and I always felt like you just had to be nice to comedy club owners because you never wanted to be one of those people. But then when I knew I was moving here and Austin's Cap City Comedy Club was already closed, I was like, maybe I should buy a fucking club and start a club. And that became my focus, Rogan shared on Theo Vaughn's podcast. Yeah, I think they moved the Cap City Comedy Club to because I performed there last year. It might have been in like a nice kind of mall, but maybe it moved out of the 6th Street area is what he's talking about. Wow, that's really cool. It looks great. Joe Rogan and Friends announced shows from March 7th through March 9th and March 14th through March 16th. The alien-themed club, located in the 6th Street Entertainment District, invites its guests to research comedians who will be performing to avoid any disturbances. What a great idea! Oh my god, how did we not think of this before? Comedy is subjective, and certain comedians are not for everybody. Watching a YouTube clip or reading the headliner's biography is a great way to get insight on the expected performance, the Comedy Mothership website reads. Because this is changing. Stand-up comedy is really changing. It used to be people would because this was pre-social media in the 90s was a huge stand-up comedy boom. People would just go to a club, listen to whoever was booked that night, and you'd only really become a household name through sitcoms or HBO Netflix specials. But if you have the wrong opinions, you don't get any of those things. And you have to build your audience on your own. Like Tim Dillon has done this beautifully. Tony Hinchcliffe has done this beautifully through Kill Tony. So it's interesting, like, comedians are bringing their own audiences to these venues, which I think helps. It's ultimately better because everybody who's sitting in that crowd knows what they're in for. Um, certain comedians are not for everybody. That's true. The comedians did not stray away from taboo topics, making jokes about the LGBTQ community and anti Semitism, which audience members found unapologetically hilarious. Awesome. I think people really crave this kind of comedy. And by this kind of comedy, I mean real comedy. Jokes that are racist, misogynist, anti everything. People have never stopped laughing at these topics. So, can we just acknowledge that it's okay to laugh at it? Roseanne Barr, actress and comedian known for her role in Roseanne, shared her cancel culture frustration with the audience. Yeah, I would say Roseanne was truly canceled. After 30 years of fighting ABC to have black writers and black characters on my show, and then having the same effing libtards turn around and call me a racist, it really effing pissed me off, she said. Wow. I want to thank Joe for building this wonderful mothership for comedians. Barr said, it's so great in the green room with everybody up there being drunk and smoking pot. Yeah, maybe they want to make this like a Comedy Store vibe, but in Austin. Look at this packed crowd. Look at this super white crowd. Look at that. Aw. Roseanne Barr looks great still. I think she has new teeth. Comedy Mothership enforced that cell phones be bagged up in pouches before entering the facility to prevent footage leaks. That's great. I think they should do that everywhere. It's the worst thing when somebody's taping your show and you're like, oh, I'm working on a bit. Can we not release this to the world yet before it's perfected? Towards the end of the show, Rogan reflected on the evening, saying, it doesn't feel real. I know it's real, but it doesn't feel real. I was super nervous today. Aw. Isn't that funny? He's got a podcast that goes out to like millions of people, but he's nervous for this like 200-seater club. Wait, how many does the club hold? Oh, I love that they have this balcony seating up here. This is great. This has like an old theater feel. He said he has no plans on slowing down his business ventures either. Good. They should open up a chain. They could be like the Improv. Rogan should have a club in every major city. I just think I like risks. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let's buy a building on a street filled with crack addicts." Like, I want someone to say no to me, and they're all like, "Okay, go ahead." While balancing his new comedy club and notorious podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, he mentions his dream podcast guest is Hunter Biden. That's actually I agree. Right, Hunter? I can turn this around for you, Rogan said. If my dad had Alzheimer's and I was doing coke, I would have done the exact same shit you did. I really want to get him on. Oh my God, that would break the internet. Let's go to the comments. Chappelle, Rogan, Barr, and other non-woke comedians will make hundreds of millions without New York City or LA. It's only a matter of time before the woke crowd realizes they got buried. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Yeah, I would say that'd be cool. Don't put a club in New York City or LA. I would say put one in like Nashville, um, maybe Tampa, maybe Appleton or somewhere in Michigan. Being drunk and on mushrooms is generally a recipe for business success. This guy doesn't know any comedians. I'm so proud of him. This club is doomed to failure. Austin is the left wing capital of Texas. Oh, really? The crowd was full. It doesn't matter where you are. People will go to see Rogan. People, I'm sure, traveled from Fort Worth and Dallas. People probably traveled from all over to go to this club. I think it's kind of cool to like put a comedy club in a city and try to turn it around. After I just said don't put clubs in New York City or LA. I'm very left when it comes to comedy. I love Rogan. He's also a brilliant conversationalist and has many liberal and diverse friends in comedy who I'm sure he'll book at his club. Diverse. Roseanne is not an cancel culture comedian. She takes anything, even remotely offensive, to Jews told by non-Jews like Dave Chappelle and calls them for their cancellation and condemnation. You can't have it both ways. I don't know about. I haven't seen proof of that, but cool. Good job, Joe. That's what it's all about. Is that a dog? What does this dog have to do with the new comedy club? This is what's annoying about the New York Post. I mean, I'm gonna watch this video because it has a dog in it, but it gets confusing. Wow, this is great. This is what it's all about. Get so successful that your other endeavors can pay for your comedy, basically. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.